Coming up tonight on SA Today, we've got the chair of the Student Life Committee for SA in studio to share updates on current initiatives, including Chat and Dine. And Student Association President Aisha Sadat is looking to make changes to how the university views the student activity fee. Plus, students shared their concerns at a diversity forum. Hear what they had to say. I'm Josh Bazan, and this is SA Today. The university's new travel policy has student leaders concerned. The policy requires the use of Concur, a 24/7 booking portal for all university-funded travel, including the student activity fee, which is considered university funds. Sadat hopes to amend the policy so the fee is not considered a university fund any longer. An open forum will be held tomorrow in Maxwell Auditorium regarding the new policy. Not only is SA pushing for better access to student tickets, they also want to make the Carrier Dome more accessible for students with disabilities. There is currently no place in the Carrier Dome for students in wheelchairs during basketball games. Vice President Jane Hong is working to try and get a ramp or platform put in place. Sadat hopes to move the student section to the sideline, which could also solve the problem. And earlier today, I sat down with Keelan Earhart, the chair of the Student Life Committee, to talk about the committee's ongoing and upcoming initiatives. Thank you for joining us today, Keelan.
Thanks for having me.
So the last time we talked with you, we heard some exciting plans about possibly getting a dining center into the Syracuse Stage Place.
Yes.
So is there any progress on that? Do you have any updates that you can tell us about so far?
So I spoke with some of the directors in food and auxiliary services, and they said that right now they're not sure if that would totally be doable even in the years to come, just because space is such like a commodity down there, and there's not really a lot of it in the Syracuse Stage area, in the complex, as well as to have a kitchen you need so many certain regulations that you need to follow. However, what they did say is that looking for fall 2016 semester, they're looking to implement a North Campus delivery food service. So rather than having it like after like the dining hall hours, when dining halls are closed, and using that on-campus delivery service, students can now use it throughout the day on North Campus. They're looking into doing something like that. And then when I asked if students at the stage would be able to do it, they did say yes. However, it would still have to use SuperCard Plus money. I asked if there was going to be a way where maybe students at the stage could just use a meal swipe to get that service, to get that food. They said that it's something that they would look into. However, they weren't sure how they would do it. Logistically speaking, just how would they make sure that the students at the stage are in fact the only ones that are using it? It's not just somebody that just happens to be there and is using their meal swipe. But I feel like that these are challenges that we can certainly overcome and definitely find solutions for.
This is something that the dining center wants to
This would be for all of North Campus.
For all of North Campus next fall?
Yeah.
That's the time frame they're looking at?
Yeah, that's what they're looking at, to do a delivery service for all of North Campus throughout the day.
All right, so can you talk a little bit about some of the other initiatives the Student Life Committee is working on right now this semester?
Yep. So actually one that we had just finished completing, a student in architecture that's a part of my committee, she wanted to expand Slocum Cafe hours on Fridays. Right now the cafe, I believe, closes at 2 or 2:30, even though a lot of students are in studio classes in the architecture school in Slocum from 1 to 5. So students and faculty are there, still in the building, same with the School of Engineering as well as Schaefer. And a lot of students, are hungry around that time, but they can't really get food because there's nowhere around them that is open. So we met with food services, and they said that they're going to pilot a program where they're going to extend Slocum Cafe hours next semester on Fridays until 5. We're actually pushing to see if we can maybe get it until 6, just to see if we maybe get some spillover after people get out at 5 to use the cafe. But yes, so that's something that we just recently accomplished, which we're excited for.
And with how much time the architecture students actually spend in Slocum, I'm sure they're probably really excited about the extended hours.
Yeah. I'm sure they are as well. Just because they are so often, back to back hours. Yeah, it's definitely crazy for them there. And something else that we had also started working on, we're looking into getting benches in South Campus bus shelters. That was a suggestion that somebody made in the survey that we put out earlier in the semester. the Student Life Survey. Someone said, why aren't there benches in South Campus bus stops? And I go, that's a good idea, especially, in the winter months when it gets really cold. Students are like freezing and definitely don't want to be just standing, shivering. So we're looking into some benches now, and we're speaking with Centro as well as the commuter services here on campus to looking into the possibility of doing that.
Very nice. One of the initiatives that the committee had previously was the Chat and Dine. I know that was very popular. A lot of students took advantage of that. It wasn't able to be implemented this semester. Is that something you guys are looking to bring back in the future?
Yep. So this semester was just because of cabinet getting together. We didn't really get together until the last weekend of September. And then at that point, there was also some changes that we wanted to make to the form. The original form last semester was on OrgSync, and it was a little confusing. A lot of students had some trouble with it. So now we created a new form. It's going to be a Google form that someone fills out. But it's all set to start running next semester. We have money set aside for it, and we're looking forward to implementing it once again. Very
exciting. That's some good news. Very nice. Thank you once again for being with us, Keelan. To stay up to date on all things campus news, you can follow us on Twitter at SA_today. Taking a look outside at the Syracuse University Quad Camp. Right now it's 37 degrees, but feels colder, closer to the low 30s. The campus saw mostly cloudy skies today and winds under 10 miles per hour. It's going to warm up a little bit more this week and won't look quite like winter in Syracuse. I'll let you know more about that in the 5-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. The Chancellor's Working Group on Diversity and Inclusion will submit their final report in March, but last night Syracuse students met with the working group during a session to improve diversity on campus. Around 150 students and faculty were in attendance and called for more funding for the hiring of diverse faculty and also for diversity training for current faculty. Six people are now facing charges of first-degree kidnapping after abducting two University of Rochester seniors on Sunday. The two students were abducted and held hostage. One student was found with a gunshot wound to his leg. The two football players were reported missing on Sunday, and police believe they were targeted. Also in Rochester, here's a take on the Christmas tree that won't leave pine needles all over the house. The Genesee Brewhouse built a 26-foot tree out of beer kegs. It's the tallest tree they've built yet, with 400 kegs and lights making up the display. Maybe we'll see a similar one pop up out in front of a few frat houses this year. Coming up next, which mayor is banning Donald Trump following his comments about banning Muslims from the U.S.? Plus, more bad news for Chipotle lovers as another location closes. All that and more when we return.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Presidential hopeful Donald Trump is being banned from a Florida city after calling for the U.S. to stop Muslims from entering the country. Using his own words against him, the St. Petersburg mayor tweeted he was banning Trump until, quote, "we fully understand the dangerous threat posed by all Trumps," end quote. But that's not the only politician upset over the billionaire's outrageous comments. Even Speaker of the House Paul Ryan put in his 2 cents.
Normally, I do not comment on what's going on in the presidential election. I will take an exception today. This is not conservatism. What was proposed yesterday is not what this party stands for, and more importantly, it's not what this country stands for.
Reports of illness after eating at a Chipotle are prompting more locations to close. The latest is in Boston, where 80 students at Boston College reported illnesses. The school has said it's working with health officials to see if it's tied to the E. coli outbreak. A spokesman from Chipotle says there are no confirmed cases in Massachusetts right now. And after 2 major beer companies agreed to merge, it's now going before Congress. AB InBev is looking to buy SAB Miller for more than $100 billion. Critics are saying this merger would hurt smaller brewers. If it does go through, experts say the company would control half of the beer industry's profit and about 1/3 of all beer sales globally. Taking a look at the weather outside right now, it's sitting at 36 degrees, but it does feel a lot colder, closer down in the low 30s. Mostly cloudy skies, the wind pretty steady at 7 miles per hour. Moving forward to tomorrow, we've got a high at 52. We're going to have a mix of sun and clouds, but quite a bit of sun tomorrow, so looking forward to that. The wind's going to pick up a little bit more, 10 to 20 miles per hour, so that could make it feel a little bit colder than 52. As for the 5-day forecast, sun sticking through most of the week, but look at those temperatures. Not a typical December in Syracuse. 50s throughout the week. As we get into the weekend, we're going to get into the mid to high 50s. Pretty unusual, but Saturday and Sunday is going to be a lot of cloud coverage, not a lot of sun for that. That's the latest from the weather outside. Coming up next, one man is putting a twist on his holiday decorating. Find out why the city is fining him for having it up. SA Today will be right back.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Jimmy can't sing,
and Tommy can't dance.
so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Coming up tonight on OTN, Sports on the Quarter takes over at 6:15, bringing you the top sports stories of the day. Then keep up with Sports on the Hill with Orange Press Pass at 6:30, followed by all your entertainment news with Orange Zest. Talking Points covers the road to 2016 and more at 7:30. A little later on Orange Press Pass, we'll be back at 11 with a recap of how the Orange fared in tonight's game against Colgate. In another decorating tradition, nativities are popping up in front yards and outside churches before the upcoming holidays. But one Ohio man took it a step further and created a zombie nativity for the second year in a row. And for the second year, the city is asking he remove it because his permit to build it was not approved.
I think it's the theme, just rubs people the wrong way and it puts a spotlight on me. That's why they're coming down so hard on me.
That's all the time we have for Essay Today. Stay tuned.